Well, first of all, I want to say I'm very proud of the guys that went out there tonight, especially when they were forced to do something that they didn't get accustomed to last minute, and especially against a powerhouse like Costa Rica. The results is expected if you don't play organized football. And you cannot play organized football if on the last moment before the game, you had to find new players to be in a situation. Anybody know the game, and that's why I did everything that I can to have the core, my core players who know our playing style, who know the system, who can keep the ball. We played excellent football all the other games, not because of me, but because we had the quality of players to do it. But when these guys last minute decided not to be there, they really hurt the country. They don't hurt me, they hurt the country, they hurt the entire, for whatever reason, because it would have been better if a month ago you said you don't want to play, and I would have respected everybody, because at least that give me a month to work with new players and get them to understand so we could be prepared. So again, I could hold up my head because I'm not a miracle worker, and that's why I could say categorically I am proud of all those guys out there, because as a coach, I put you in a situation that you didn't even get a chance to learn and adapt last minute. And again, at Powerhouse, you know, maybe it was a little, if it was a small caliber team, maybe you'd have had a chance to adjust. But I knew, you know, as a coach, you know, I knew it would have been a tough task, but I had to encourage the guys and had to still try to defend our country as much as possible. But that's the real story behind it.
Mr. Tillett, you were
Mr. Slusher.
Mr. Slusher, sorry. Yes, Mr. Slusher, you were hired to restructure the team and bring it to the point where we can win games, including these games. Yes. What happened tonight? What we saw out there wasn't...
I could tell you categorically, if I had the team that I had, we could have won the game tonight. And I'm talking about all the guys that deserted the team, and that's why I was very, very happy when all of them came to camp. I was very confident when all of them came to camp. When Woodrow West, when all of those guys, when Charles Tillett decided he didn't want to come, I went to Woodrow West to come, and he came and trained one day, decided the next day that he don't want to be here. All these things, again, force you as a coach. So what are other options that you have? So, like I said, I did everything with all the right people. And so, again, I'm not a miracle worker, and if I had the players that knew the style, we could have had a great chance. So again, and that's why I will not be tough on myself, because again, I know if we want to, I've always said it, you don't play quality and possession football with the players that have that quality. Simple as that. And that was what was missing from today's game. And like I say, I cannot blame, and that's why I will always say I'm proud of those guys, because I asked them to do something and they went out there and tried their best, knowing the limitations, because they didn't get the time to train in certain position and to understand what it's. So please, I ask Belize, if you don't want to punish me, do whatever you want, but please give those guys all the love that you can, because last minute, a week, a couple days before the game, all my key players abandoned ship, which is very, very, very sad, because again, it should always be country over whatever reason. You understand?
I want to follow that up, Mr. Slusher, with this. Now that you have the players that appear to be more committed to the national team, do you expect that this will perhaps be the new configuration of the national team? These are people that you can work with?
Well, it has to be, because if you guys know the history, this have been happening before every game. There's a controversy over money and everything else. Listen, I'm always encouraged. I will always fight for my players, for them to get their reward and just. But what have been happening over the years, and it's something, again, I know you said I came aboard to just win. No, I came aboard also to change the culture here at the national team. Let it be something, again, that you have that ambition and that pride, and you want to represent your country, and not just the first thing you hear on national team, oh, I want money, I want reward. I always tell my players, guys, we live in a Belize. If you want to make money, for example, some of the players, you You know what hurt? Some of the players could have performed tonight and get an opportunity to get a big contract all over the world and make the same money that you are saying you're not making here at the national team.
Coach, now on a more positive note, and going off of the first question that was asked initially, moving on to a more positive note, you gave these opportunities, these young players. We saw Marlon Mesa, who entered the game. You gave them the opportunity to form a part of the senior men's national team. And like Mr. Dale mentioned, you're building that new core. Talk to me about that.
Well, again, like I say, I am proud of those guys again. And again, we need to believe in our young players. We need to continue to give them the opportunity because we have a lot of great young talent, and we need to always, you know what is wonderful about this? This will inspire the next young players, them to work hard because they know they have a fair opportunity to represent their country. You know, so again, you might look at the score, but don't look at the score, look at the opportunity that these young kids have and look at the opportunity that might open for a lot of other kids in this country.
Talk finally about the implications of this loss in the grand scheme of things where this tournament is concerned.
You see, and like I said, I could hold my head up because if we had lost with my core and the team that have been working for the last 5 months and get 7, then it would have been a serious issue. But when I lost with a crowd of guys that I just assembled a couple of days before, you all know what is the issue. We have to continue to rebuild. We have to ensure in the future. One of the things that I've learned is that I need to ensure that something like this does not ever happen again to myself, to the country, or to the team. If somebody shows after 3 weeks, does not show up, then I need to find replacement.
Finally, for me, Coach, you've talked extensively about the normal core of the team that sort of, in your words, abandoned ship. You have a group of young people that you were happy to work with, even though the devastation was terrible on the field tonight. Are you hopeful that this team can pick up the pace?
No. Listen, like I say, if we want to be honest, you could see that we have a great future with some of these young guys' performance. For me, and that's why I'm saying I'm very proud of them, you know, because we all need an opportunity. And I'm happy, like I said, I'm happy because the positive about it, if I had the core, these guys wouldn't have gotten the opportunity. So again, for me, it's and like I said, you know, we could never be happy with the result, but as long as you know why you got that result, and know that you could always do better if we get the right set of people, you know, on board. But again, I'm very, very extremely happy for these young guys that got the opportunity tonight to play. And that's why I tell all of them, hold up your head, guys. Don't worry about the score. You know, a lot of us experienced this when we came out. But let's look to the future of rebuilding the national team so that these type of things, guys, listen, I've been around the national team for a long time, and every time we have the biggest moment, these things happen. And like I said, as far as I check, I'm not crazy to be going through this every other year. So we have to change the culture, and maybe that 7-0 is the start of that movement.
Thank you very much, Coach. With this, we have come to the end of today's press conference.
Thank you very much.